Quiz for you. Which company was the first to create LCD screens for smartphones and TVs? What is the world's oldest science and technology company? What is the shared name of two different companies in Germany and the US? The answer is Merck. Sounds familiar? While the name rings somewhat unfamiliar for ordinary consumers, Merck is the very company that supplies the LCD panels in your smartphone. Did you know that this German company is 353 years old? Starting as Ansel Pharmacy in 1668, the company is now in the 13th generation, making it the oldest living business among today's science and technology companies. Still based in Darmstadt, Merck is the global manufacturer of pharmaceuticals, life science products, and performance materials. So what was happening around the world 350 years ago? The French Revolution, the American War of Independence, the Industrial Revolution, World War I and II. To summarize 17th century Europe, it was in 1648 that the Peace of Westphalia was signed by Spain after 30 years' war. By Isaac Newton's discovery of the law of universal gravity in 1687. Humankind tastes the fruit of the new knowledge of modern science that builds the foundation for not only physics, but also chemistry, biology, social science, and many other fields of science. As if by destiny, it is during this period of scientific flourishing that the first of Merck became the owner of Ansel Pharmacy in 1668. At the time, Hyunjong, 18th monarch of the Joseon dynasty, was resigning over Korea. Throughout the Great Wars and Revolution, Merck continued to go on and on, expanding itself. Ansel Pharmacy went on for nearly 200 years under the management of Merck family descendants. In the 19th century, Heinrich Emanuel Merck in the 16th generation expands the chemical business that triggers tremendous growth of the company. Currently, the Merck Group runs three businesses: electronics, life science, and healthcare. Merck is a large company with some 2.2 trillion won in revenue. Merck's products and services are tightly embedded in our everyday life. Their materials are used for displays and components for cameras, which are found in almost every smartphone. Anti-scratch coating agents also contain Merck products. Therapists did too. Treatments are now being worked on or already on the market. Globally, Merck has around 57,000 workers. The company generated total revenues of 17.5 million euros from 66 countries in 2020. Merck never stops growing and investing though. For one, Merck changed the name of its business sector. In March this year, Merck changed the name of its performance materials business sector to electronics, showing the determination to strengthen its electronic material business. That is why Merck is ramping up investment in the Korean market. It has to do with how Merck has accompanied the growth of Korea's display and display materials industry. Since Japan's trade restriction in 2019, Merck drove in aggressively as the equipment localization efforts materialized in Korea's semiconductor industry. Merck expanded the production lines for OLED materials and LCD test cells. Since October last year, Merck has invested another 25 billion won to build facilities in Pyeongtaek, Gyeonggi Province. Merck has opened the KGaA Tech Technology Center earlier that year in Pyeongtaek as well to develop and produce materials for semiconductors. For the first time in its 31 years, the company appointed a Korean managing director for Merck Korea, with which Merck has reaffirmed its commitment to the Korean semiconductor market. Kim Woo-gyu, managing director of Merck Korea, said in the April interview with Forbes Korea, Merck not only manufactures innovative materials, but also provides integrated solutions to our customers in the electronics industry of the 21st century. Korea is a strong manufacturing country, capable of leveraging Merck's next-generation materials and technology. Also, Merck recently declared it is reviewing the plan to invest over 200 million euros in Korea over the 5 years to come. Today, companies last only 30 years on average in Korea. It seems that the Merck Group, the world's best for over 350 years, has a certain Merck DNA that defines the ideal practice for businesses. Even today, Merck continues as a leading science and technology company based on history of fulfilling curiosity to advance human progress. Forbes Korea.